back to the Black Basterd Video Podcast. It's your host, Max Road, the video hunting shark, rewinding tapes, checking out trailers, and getting rid of those videos we no longer want nor need. We're back at it with sealed copies. Heap, keep, sealed, reveal. Do we keep it like Frank Sinatra? Frankie, baby. We're going to reveal this. So, reveals will go front and center. Okay? Actually, I take that back. I'm not going to reveal it. Why? Because my next tape I'll show you is, he's the Frank Sinatra of rap, you know, of hip hop. And they just look so choice right next to one another. This is a mystery tape. This, let me get it up there close for you. When I say a mystery tape, not, oh, it's, I know what it is. How is it a mystery? No, it has slipped my mind as to where I found this. And it actually makes it pretty cool, you know, being that it's Nas, and he's, even though he's well known, he's still mysterious. Somehow Nas has been able to keep that mystique about him, you know. There's very few artists that, as popular as they are, there's still things you don't know about them. I don't want to know, you know. I don't dive deep. I'm not a fanatic of anyone, you know. I don't dive deep in anyone's personal life. I'm just here for the art. So yeah, I'm gonna keep these two New York Giants sealed. Dude, you're very wishy-washy. You say one thing and 2 seconds later you're saying something else. Yeah. That's what makes me mad. That's what makes me Max. That's what makes me mad, Max. Road. It's been years since giants went vanished. Why would they return now? Keep it sealed. I have a copy. You know, this may very well not be a official seal. I wish I could hang all day with you guys, but unfortunately, just like the day previous, I'm not as tired, but I do have things to do. You guys got about 15 more minutes with me. Sorry. I mean, you can see the counter tells you how long the video is going to be, but it sucks. I was watching, yesterday I was watching Jack Slater 4. I turned off Jack Slater 4 and I threw on Jack the Giant Killer. I own this on Laserdisc and on VHS, I believe. This is an official seal. It's going to remain sealed. This is my favorite of the 3. Looking forward on Laserdisc. It's a grail, can't deny it. $5 refund on corn nuts. When was the last time you had some corn nuts? That's stoner food right there. And this is a stoner's video right here. I could open this and not feel that, you know. No, I'm gonna keep it sealed because it's just very rare. These kids videos, I mean, to actually find a kid video not opened is pretty wild. I love this cover. I have an open copy of this. I did that to show you it's sealed, just so you don't think I'm BSing. Remain sealed. This was so hard to keep in my collection, being that I'm a Elvis fan. But finally, Russell of Ukiah, he had a copy. To be honest with you, this movie right here it's this movie right here that I found out who Elvis was as a kid, like a 12-year-old. I thought he was very mysterious and cool. Still think he's cool and mysterious. We got City on Fire, open seal. I'm gonna keep the plastic on. Great movie. Love to get on a laser disc. We got Richard Pryor in The Toy. The kid in this movie, he's down. Oh, here he is. This kid, right? I had a friend named Jay from Jersey. This kid's from Jersey. He told me one day in the 90s when they were like on the block selling dope. They was at the court. They was at the basketball courts, right? And this limo pulls up, and that kid hops out. He's like at the time like 15, you know, just wants to be a normal kid basically. And he wanted to hoop with the boys. He couldn't believe it. Like, it's not a made-up story, you know. He played basketball with the kid from The Toy, you know. He's a human like the rest of us. But it almost sounded just like the character he played in The Toy is who he was in reality. The Patriot. This means a lot to me, this movie. You know, every monster has their Dr. Frankenstein. And Max Road has a Dr. Frankenstein. It's my friend Andrew. We haven't hung out with each other since, you know, I went bad on him back in 2005 or earlier. Honestly, when my friend Jay came around, you know, that's when I started leaning and hanging out with him, and I faded away from Andrew. Andrew was such a bully, to be honest, but he was a great friend. Like, he was a bully and a great friend. Ain't that something? It's like if the kid from Toy was friends with Psycho Sid, the next door neighbor, you know, on Toy Story. I used to hate Andrew. I really did. I remember I went bowling with my mom, like 1992, 93, something like that. And I envisioned Andrew's face on every bowling pin. And I was hitting strike after strike. That's how much I hated this guy. But time went on, and you know, close friends start fading away, and you look up and, you know, there's Andrew. And you're like, and he's got good weed. And next thing you know, you're friends with Andrew, the a psycho. But he was very intelligent. He is very intelligent. He had his shit together. He really did. Some areas needed improvement, but for the most part, he had his shit together. You know, it's the first friend that I ever went to the gun range with. You know, you know, I don't think I ever seen an AK-47 until I hung out with Andrew. Andrew was the first person that I seen with a flat screen TV. This is 1998. And DVDs. I never seen DVDs. He was a total prick. I remember watching Death Race 3000 or 2000. Whatever. It's 2000. Death Race 2000. Yeah, dude. It's Death Race 2000, bro. You're not a movie buff. That's Andrew coming through. Kind of guy that knows every character. If it's a movie that he loves, like I can watch this 5 times in a row and I won't know Mel Gibson's character's name. He'll know his character, his brothers. He'll know every single person in the movie's name, and he can spit out dialogue from the film. But yeah, we were watching Death Race 2000, and I'm into it, and then he pauses it. Like it was at the point where Frankenstein and the broad are in the car on the highway, and he pauses it, and he's like, "Yeah, enough of that. Like, I can't show you no more of that. I'm gonna rot your brain if I show you this." What he did was, be frank with you, man. And mind you, these stories are when I'm 16, 17. He made me very jealous. Very jealous, and I don't want to be Andrew, but I wanted the things that he had, from the action figures to the boa constrictor named Ballistic. Yeah. So eventually, when I started getting money, and Andrew helped me get money, you know, he got me employed with a job that netted me a substantial amount of money. Yeah, I saw Andrew about a year ago, and he hollered out my name, and I wanted to jump in the ride like it was 1999. But I quickly reminded myself that I'm a 40-year-old version. A 40-year-old version of myself, not version. All right, we got I Wanna Be Your Sledgehammer. I'm saying though, Andrew inspired me to get into movies and start collecting. And yeah, I remember the most DVDs I had were 70. And since I lost my job and I needed money to get high, I sold them all. I sold them at a time where DVDs were actually quite expensive. So I sold it to a spot called Streetlight Records, right? And I brought so many DVDs. I think I had more than 70. I brought them so many DVDs that they had to cut me a check. They didn't have enough money in the till. It was quite pathetic of me, honestly, when I think back. It's actually sad. And I never smoked no dope, you know what I mean? I was a dope smoking buds, you know, that's all I wanted. That's all I cared about at a time in my life. Jack Hanna. I was smoking that bubonic ET. That'll make you choke. This ain't no joke. This is possibly a reseal. Yeah, I think it's a reseal. I'm gonna keep it sealed because I own like 78 copies of ET. Or another friend Wasn't a friend, actually. It was my barber. He was a hophead. Kind of guy that'll take 45 minutes to do a 15-minute cut because he's so high on that shit. He told me he watched this in prison or the county jail, whatever the hell. Sweet Revenge with Helena Bonham Carter and the guy from Jurassic Park, Sam Neill. Or actually, the guy from In the Mouth of Madness, Sam Neill. This was a double feature in 1989. What was the other movie, you ask? Back to the Future 3. It was at the Cheapies. What's the Cheapies? It's the cheap theaters, the cheap movies, you know? The movies that have been out for like 2 months, you know? That's how we watched flicks back in the day. Save some money. Yeah. I own this about 78 times as well. I don't even like this movie, but this cover, man, there's something about it. There's just something about this cover right here. Alright, it's winding down. I gotta get out of here. Amadeus. You said 15 minutes. 15 minutos. That's my guy right here. Got it. It's my guy. Okay? Used to watch that in school. Maybe one time I watched it in school back in 7th grade. It made me so sad when he started to get sick and die. I want to open this so bad, but I can't. Now, we've watched this in school multiple times, back in the 7th and 8th grade. That's a rainy day movie right there. Unbelievable. I have a sealed copy of Boys. I mean, who would buy this and not open it? Actually, I think it was just excess. That movie just sold so many, but eventually it topped out. We got Jake Speed. I can see myself opening this. I'm not into movies like this. I'm gonna keep it sealed. Bro, again, dude. Are you gonna open anything? I told you, I'm open Helena Bonham Carter. We got. I think it's a sealed copy. No, yeah, I think it's officially sealed. I don't know. I hate this movie. I hate it. I hate it. And I own a Laserdisc. Lord. Fiction. We're out of here. We got the special edition sealed. We got the original sealed. All right. Thanks for tuning in to the Black Basterd Video Podcast. Your host, Max Road.